Hi, everybody. Brian here from quantlabs.net. Going live now. Going to talk about what's been brewing in the forex space, crypto space, and stock space. Stock space or equity looking pretty good. I'm going to go over that. And just so you know, we're now live streaming also in syncing up with YouTube. So we have our favorite fan here. Thank you very much. And let's go over. If you got any questions, let me know, and we shall get started now. All right, so let's check out what's been going on in the world of Bitcoin and Ethereum. If you've not heard the news, big news is that Backed BAKKT is dropping 2/3 of their altcoins. So I think that's going to be a new trend where a lot of altcoins are going to eventually drop off as more US based exchanges will be forced to do that. Internationally, I can't say, but I think at the end of the day, when you just look at the charts alone for those altcoins, you can tell that they're just not doing too good. So here you can see Bitcoin. I mean, next day it could go down. This is the problem of Bitcoin. There's a lot of volatility out in Bitcoin. So, same said for Ethereum as well. There is some slightly good news here with let's see here. So we have Ethereum as well. Not much is brewing for both Bitcoin and Ethereum. It might move up a little bit, but it's really unpredictable. There's really no general trend, but there is this. Now, Litecoin, what's been going on is that they've been introducing this new standard on Bitcoin, BRC20, and new coins are being added to that. No different than Ethereum layer 2. So transactions are moving up. So as a result, you can see here that Bitcoin or Litecoin is moving up as more traders, investors are moving into Litecoin. So that's what's happening now. It looks like it's sustainable. If I showed you the comparison between this and Bitcoin as is, just in the last few days, um, it's pretty stark there. You can see the performance is much steeper. Now, if I go over to, I don't know, 4-hour chart, you'll see the difference there. You can see that Litecoin is starting to outperform Bitcoin, and this could be something that could impact Bitcoin in a negative way as those fees start to go up. But apparently, there's a new Litecoin 20 or something to do another standard for Litecoin as well. So just be aware of this comparison of Litecoin versus um, Bitcoin, and same if I added same with Ethereum as well. So we're still waiting on the XRP court case as well. No news, but you can see here Litecoin's up 0.251% versus the negative of Bitcoin and Ethereum. So that's pretty well where we're at with the crypto space. Not trying to write it off or anything, obviously not, but it's just not performing. Now, over here, I've got these are the moving CFDs and Forex. Not many, but this one was a surprising one, was the USD Chinese yuan. Let me just first pull up the DXY. This is important to know. I think it's under futures. DXY. This is the US dollar currency index. So let me remove these other ones so we can see what's going on here. Right now, the US dollar has been performing fairly well since, let me pull up a daily chart here. Okay. So you can see here just recently, in the last few working days, US dollar is starting to kind of move. And that's having a negative impact on all the other competing Forex pairs. So let me just show you that. If I do a 1 day, we'll do a 3 month, probably best to show that. And then what I'll do is I'll pull up the British pound against the US dollar. Okay. Doesn't matter what we use; they're pretty well the same. But you can see what's been happening here is that the British pound has been outperforming the DXY quite a bit by 4%. So that's one trade that's been in trend for quite a while, and that's a gimme. But you can see here the de-dollarization is real on the U.S. dollar, but it's starting to gain a little bit. But you can see there's some negative hours there, so that may start to impact. And you can see what happens is completely indirect relationship between the performance of the British pound against the U.S. dollar. Also, if I was to pull up the euro on top of that, what you'll find is the same. And you can see here, same thing. And as I've been saying for a while, the British pound has been strengthening against both the euro, USD, and the dollar index, the DXY. So this has been happening. So I think some of the hot capital is flowing back in England. I'm also hearing the economy is not too bad when you look at the index for the FTSE and EU. Well, the DAX is doing pretty good for the German um, stock index, but the U.S. Nasdaq's doing very well, and that's all just due to 15 companies that's skewing that stock market index. So that's something that people need to be aware of. But in terms of the crypto, I'm sorry, the forex, you can see here right now, it looks like even if I was to do, okay, so that's a 1 hour chart. So if I was to pull out, let's say, 4 hours to do a comparison, you can again see here how far back. So we're going up back to the fall here. I'll do a year to date. British pound still leading over the euro, and same thing with the U.S. dollar is negative. So the other one that might be of interest may be the yen as well. These are the major forex pairs out there. So with the U.S., this is another interesting one as well. Yeah, you can see here USD, Japanese yen's doing not bad as well. So those are two good trades to hold. Forex is British pound against the US dollar and USD against the Japanese yen. The Nikkei has been doing okay as well. So that's just something to take note on for both these major pairs. Now, the other one that's of interest, I think, is the yuan. The Chinese yuan, has been starting to pick up a little bit, starting to go positive. So this is a question of if this will start to gain momentum, and that's something to be very aware of. One way to track that is quite simply the copper. So now let's just see if I'm pulling up here, and XCU. Why is now XCU? Okay. XCU. Okay, so not seeing the copper. Okay, you know what? I'm not going to worry about it. Now let's do it this way. The copper, maybe that might be better. You can see copper's just been in decline. That's the one way to know if copper is moving up, so will the yuan as well. And why is that? Because uh, copper is considered a base metal, one of four base metals. So copper is a really good early indicator of the sign of how economies are doing. Once you start to see the price of the four base metals, there's nickel, copper, and a few other ones. When they go up, that is a sign of manufacturers starting to order copper so that they can refine their process and get their products out. So when price of copper goes up, that's going to obviously positively impact something like the yuan as well, because they're heavily reliant on copper. Another one to watch for is, let me get rid of one of these. So I'll get rid of the euro, let's just say. Another one that I've just started to see was the Australian dollar as well starting to move. So you can see here that's starting to move up as well. So there's a tight relationship between China and Australia when it comes to copper, because obviously China is going to order copper from places like Australia, and that you can see that relationship between the two. And again, that will positively impact the Australian dollar, as you can see here as well. So those are the sort of things you can look for in the world of forex among the major pairs. If you got any questions, just let me know. If you're on YouTube, I'm only watching my Trading View profile, Brian Downing QLN on Trading View. Just go under the Streams tab, you'll see all my input there. If you got anything as well. So that's the world of copper, of what I'm seeing in the world of. Let me just pull up a 1 hour chart here just so you can see it in detail. So again, this is what I'm seeing in the world of forex. There's a couple other pairs of interest here. Let me get rid of a couple of these. Copper, I'll get rid of. We'll do some other comparisons as well. So another one is the Canadian dollar. I think the Canadian dollar is like short-term strengthening. So if I show you that, the Canadian dollar, Japanese yen as well, because the yen's declining. So you can see here, so it's barely negative, but that has been strengthening as well. Just something to watch for. Okay, so let me add in some gold. Gold is not the best performer on an intraday level. What is out of the currencies? Let me show you first gold in Japanese yen. I showed this on the weekend on one of my live streams, so you may want to check one of those out. But if you want to just do a comparison of gold in Japanese yen, this is definitely the best gold investment you could probably get right now. So you can see here gold in Japanese yen's negative 0.25%, but still outperforming even the British pound, US dollar. So when you look at the 3 month, you'll start to see that, yeah, gold, Japanese yen's your best holding that you want. If you want to get best performance with low volatility in terms of the world of gold, that's your best one to hold, is gold in Japanese yen. As I said, if you got questions or comments, let me know. So that's probably a very good investment right there. You can see it's very low volatile. It's been virtually only one drawdown right here, where it's been very stable. And that's the nice thing about yen. It's not a volatile currency to hold. So just as a note there, another one. Oh, let me just pull that back up here. So we're going to do a comparison between that and so that's a 3 month view, right? So if I look at the year to date, you can see here year to date, gold and Japanese yen is your best bet right now to hold that. Another one that you might want to look at are some of the other Asian currencies, as let's say gold and Singapore dollar. That one's been performing fairly well. That's still doing pretty good, but look, the difference 5% between gold and Singapore dollar. So if I was to do, I don't know, a 1 month view, you can see here gold and the yen is still your best bet. And even on a 5 day, so you can see right there that on your 5 day that the USD won is not doing too bad. But in terms of investment versus day trading, yeah, this is something to take note on. I don't know if this is going to reverse, and waiting for a confirmation if this will start to perform. Again, that's up to the price of copper, as I've talked about earlier. So let me get rid of this one. Okay, so let me show you some other ones here. So I've shown you the Canadian, Japanese. Now, when you compare this against how the stock market's doing, okay, so let me go back to a 1 month view. So you can see here, yen is still, gold and yen still your number one asset. As I said, another one, this is another CFD here is NASDAQ as well. So you can see here, NASDAQ starting to outperform uh, gold and Japanese yen. Now, if you compare that to other indices, this is the best index to own. Again, Nasdaq 100. That's because of those Apples and Microsofts are doing fairly well, holding the market up. Generally, when you go through a lot of stocks, the performance that I've gone through, a lot of them, like I'd say as high as 75, maybe even 80, 90% of those stocks are not performing. They're incredibly volatile. So you don't want to take those. You're always looking for trend, ones that where trend is your friend, as they say. So I'm going to talk about more of those in a minute when it comes to the different stocks to have there. Okay, so any questions so far? I'm not sure, but I'll continue that. All right, so we looked at crypto, we looked at forex, and let's take a look at some of the. Let me put this up as a comparison. NAS 100. So again, that's now NASDAQ 100. These are your top 10 tech stocks. So, okay, so that we'll use as a benchmark against these other smaller stocks that I want to show you. So this is the list of stocks that usually get low volatile performers for today. Okay, some of these are really good. We have 18. I generated ones from Friday. It was only 4. So again, it depends upon how the market performs. It's not a stellar condition out there, even though the markets are kind of positive, but there's just too much volatility in the markets right now. Let me pull up Market Watch. So I'll pull up Market Watch just to give you an idea how the markets have been performing. And okay, let me just get my screen here for TradingView back. Okay, so yeah, so when you look at Market Watch, where is my Market Watch? It just disappeared. Okay, let me pull up another browser here. Just give me a second here. Sorry to do this. Actually, there it is. Okay, so this is for today, Market Watch. So you can see here, Dow's up 0.14, S&P up 1/3%, NASDAQ up 2/3%. Okay, so that's not, I mean, it's better than nothing, but if I was to show you, what I will show you is the 18 high performers and low volatility. Okay, so again, let me just show you these. I'm going to show you the market categories, the categories I do, and just show you which ones are the performers. These change quite a bit. So I'm just bringing up the spreadsheet here. Okay, there they are. These are your performers right now, and they change quite a bit as usual. That's normal. So again, let me just do a data sort here. And so we want to column A, big to little. Okay, so, wrong one. Okay. Sort, column B, largest to smallest. That's what we want. Okay, so here's your performers now. You get U.S. Energy, Dow Jones, Overseas Europe, Biotech, which was performing quite well up until last week, Material, small caps, and then Japanese. So you could see here, real estate's kind of in there, and gold is dropped off. So gold is not your best performer from a day trading perspective, but you'll see the diversity of these categories as I pull up these individual stocks on TradingView. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to keep the NASDAQ here up, so just as a comparison. So the first one we'll look at is this one right here, PHM. I've shown this before, I believe. So let me just show that. Pulte Group. So you can see here. Now remember, let me pull up the other one, gold and Japanese yen. So this is your number one performer for gold. Okay, so you can see here, gold is down. Well, it's not bad. That's a let's pull up a 3 month view. So you can see here, right here, April 23rd, almost a month ago. This one, PHM, has started to really take off. Still, I'm not going to complain. 11% on a really decent holding here, gold and Japanese yen. But you can see here that PHM has taken off. But what I want you to notice here, depending upon your style of trading and investment, if you're not taking any form of medication for when your heart stops, when you see this crazy volatility price movement, where here it's a little more stable, you might want to ask yourself, which one do you want to choose? Depends upon your how you feel about allocating these kind of performers in your portfolio. And out of this list, it gets worse as you go down the list. Okay, so PHM 20%, 3 month view, pretty good. Next one we'll look at is CWST. So I'll keep that one loaded up. CSWST. So now we're getting into a waste company here, Casella Waste Systems. So how's that been performing? So that one's been doing pretty good as well, 18%. And again, this is the kind of thing, if you want to take these crazy volatile moves, and these can turn against you at any point in time for whatever reason. If it's the markets itself, it's the company, news, blah, blah, blah. So you got to really tightly watch these kind of companies. All right, so the next one we'll look at is SMPL. And again, you'll see how diverse these categories are. So now we're looking at Simply Good Foods Company. How's that one been performing? Not as great, right? So it's 6%, not bad. But again, this one looks pretty good. The price action, pretty stable run up. So this may be a good one to hold in your portfolio if you're about that. I'll get rid of that in terms of performance. And then the next one we got here is GXO. So again, GXO Logistics. So now you can see, again, as I said, the diversity in these categories of performers. These are your top performers right now. So here, GXO is up 13.48%, beating out the gold, Japanese yen. And it doesn't, well, outside of this kind of dip, it's not too bad. We are looking at an hourly move. So if I move that down to daily, again, depending upon your investment, you want to know which one's going to get you best performance. So you can already see this one, CWST, is giving you almost a 400% return since, well, the beginning of the year, or last 3 months at least. Let me pull that one up as a separate company. Let's see what we got here. So that was CWST. I create a new chart here. Getting better at TradingView, so I'm not as clumsy as I used to be. So CWS, Casella Waste Management. So you can see right there, there's your run up there, 95. So it's a $95 stock. So it's doing pretty good. And let me remind you of something. When it comes to recessionary type of environments, usually waste companies do pretty good. I don't know why that is. It's just people still need to get their trash and recycling and whatnot. That's one of those kind of industries where it's recessionary proof. It's like haircutting. People always got to get their hair cut. This is the same similar thing. And again, you can see very few drawdowns here in the stock. So that's pretty good. All right. So any questions, just let me know. If you're already, as I said, if you're on YouTube, you got to come over to TradingView so I can see your questions if you got any. So we're now down to here, IRT. So let me go back to this chart here. I'm going to keep this one available. So I'll get rid of this one here, the GXO. So again, this is believe it's a 3 month view. And we'll add this new one here. It's called IRT. And again, Independence Realty Trust. So now you're looking at, this is where it gets interesting. Okay, this is where you get to see the real interesting This one's a trust. It's kind of like a grayscale for crypto. So this could probably pay out dividends. I have no idea on this company. So it's 62% return for 3 months. That's pretty good. Oh, I'm sorry. That goes all the way back to 2018. I'm sorry. Let's look at the 3 month view here. So IRT is negative. Okay, so that's a reflection on the overall real estate space. So maybe that might not be the best one to get into. All right. Any questions, comments at all? So we're on a 3 month view right now, and we're looking at 1 hour time frame. So the next one we're going to look at here is CRSR, Corsair Gaming. So now a gaming company. So these are usually gambling related. So right here, negative. But if I go back to, let's say, a 5-day view, you can see here that's one of the better performers. Monthly view. This is what I don't like to see. There's a big spike and it drifts back down. You don't want to see that. You want to see a nice steady run up. As you can see here, PHM, CWSD. That's what you want. That's how you build out your performers. And as long as you're sitting on top of it frequently to know when it starts to turn, like you can see with the CRSR, then you know to get out, and then you're doing pretty good. And that's the nice thing about TradingView, to set up those kind of alerts. So now you're starting to see the stocks that are listed here. They're starting to not be your best performers. So we'll look at another one here, ONTO. So this is some kind of innovation company, right? So this one's looking pretty good over the last month. Looking pretty good trend there, but it's these drawdowns I'm not a big fan of, but that's doing pretty good there. Looks pretty good to me if you want to look at the 3 month. It's still really good. So if you're following gold, crypto, what's the other ones? Even forex. Look, there's stocks out there that are doing really good and holding their own in this questionable market. So that's even from a 3 month view of holding, like investing, versus your day trading as well. So that's a pretty good performer right there. So I'm just going to kill that anyways. So the next one, we have a company called Ramp. Let's see that one here. Live Ramp Holdings. And I don't know anything about this company. So this one's negative on a 3 month view. 1 month is starting to perform not too badly. But again, you can see it's outperforming the NASDAQ and your gold and Japanese yen. And again, as I talked about, the gold and Japanese yen is your number one performer when it comes to gold trades. Forget crypto. Crypto's been not performing lately. So there's no need to compare that. But Ramp's doing okay. So if you look at the 5-day, Ramp's still number one, but it's just these kind of moves I don't like. Depending upon the size of the stock, it could be manipulated. I'm not saying it is or it isn't, but it could be. Okay, so let's look at this company here, Sovo. Let's see what kind of company it is. So this is Sovo brand, maybe some consumer type of product here. Where's Sovo? Didn't take. Yeah, here. Okay, Sovo right here, not a great performer. Had a nice spike and boom, that's a 5-day view, 1 month view, 5.85, still beating out your gold in Japanese yen. So it's not bad, but look at your 3 month. Now that's where it gets surprising, right? So this is now your number one performer for last 3 months. So time view is very important in your style, depending upon what you're wanting to watch. But when you get these kind of dips, does that mean it will continue? Let me show you something I just added. So this is Sovo. Okay, so I found a Hertz cycle, and let me pull that up here. Okay, so this is an open source script that's available. I put up that on my YouTube if you want to see it. So right here, if you want to know what's moving and what's not moving or will move moving forward, you can see these diamonds right here. More diamonds you get, the better likelihood that this stock will continue to run up. Here you can get some info on your pivots using her cycles. So the her cycles are historical patterns, and you can use those to move to forecast how the stock will do. So it's looking that there may be another classic reversal here, and it gives you the date here, May 23rd. So that's a daily view. So if I was to look at the weekly view, this might be able to give me, yeah, there's not enough information there. Maybe that might be too much. Weekly view. So there you can see again your bars and your forecasting. So pretty good tool to have. Again, just go to my YouTube channel, look on under the Trading View playlist, and it's there. So if you want to know about how to forecast, that's probably a good one. This is a premium indicator on the MotoWave, and here's the crazy part is it's open source, so you get the source code there as well, and you'll see it's fairly sophisticated. So people do provide these indicators for free, and that one's a good one for the Hearst. Okay, so just wanted to point that out. All right, so let's continue along in our list here. If you got any questions, let me know. So we're continuing along here. We got a few more here. So we're at Ryan. This is not Ryanair. I know this company because I've seen it before. So let me pull that up again. We will get rid of this one. That's a 3-month view on an hourly basis. So Ryan. So you can see here Ryan Specialty Holdings. This was not the greatest, but again, when you go down your 5-day view, look at where it's at, 1.99. Again, I don't know the value of this stock, but just showing you the performance, trying to showcase some of these smaller, unknown companies can do really nice, and they can do nice on a few weeks, a few months if you know about them. So again, 6.25. Okay, so now I expect these to get worse as time marches on. So we got this company here, HLMN. Let's check that out. Hillman Solution Corp, whatever that might mean, is 1-month view. Okay, so this is important to know. Let me just pull this up on its own. HLMN. So we got Hillman Solution here. So what I want you to take away from this, if I pull up the daily view, this has gone range bound. If I pull up a 4-hour view, you can see how it's very range bound and severely, severely volatile. And remember what I said before, these are considered the low volatile stocks. So you can see here, you can't trade this. This is not worth looking at. This is not worth holding. There's no trend to it compared to the other stocks that have shown. So you'll expect to see more of these as we move down this list. So it's something I wouldn't even bother considering. So here we'll go into DY, BY, ICOM. Oh, I'm sorry. I just did something I shouldn't have done. Okay, so we got our NASDAQ there. We're going to look up DY as a comparison. DICOM Industries. So as I said here, it's doing okay. Still outperforming your gold and Japanese yen. That's pretty impressive. So that is a 5-day view, 2.47. Remember, last week was a very flat week in the markets. Monthly view, doing okay, outperforming. But again, when I start to see these drawdowns, I don't like them. I wouldn't touch this company at all. And as I said, we're going to go down. It's going to get worse and worse as we go down this list. So the next company we have is Yeti. I might even just stop Yeti Holdings as well. You can see right there, it's negative. Actually, 5.64, still outperforming 1 month view. So it's gone negative for 3 months, 5-day view, negative. So again, this is one of those companies I don't want to take a look at. If you got questions, type them up now. From this point on, I don't see any point in continuing because this will get worse and worse. But I just wanted to show you the diversity of these categories I've just shown you. So this one's Telefonica Brazil. This is a Latin-based company. So that one is this one right here, 7.46. And let me just pull up. That's a 5-minute view. There has been doing it for the last week. So that one's not too bad. It's 3.72% 1 month. VIV still outperforming the gold and Japanese yen. And 3-month view, yeah, it's negative. No, it's 12%. So it's beating out the gold and Japanese yen. So, but still, these companies here, PHM and CWST, are still doing pretty good. All right, so let me just show you those categories again. This is important. So in here, this one I just showed you is Latin America. So it's somewhere in here, or European as well, if it's been listed on the Spanish stock exchange as an example. So these are the different diverse kind of stocks you get. And let me pull up one more. Sorry, I got a grumbling chihuahua here. All right, so we got FAST. Let me pull that one up here. All right, so as I said, if you got questions, now's the time. There we go. All right, so now we're going to look at this company, FAST, F-A-S-T, Fastenal. I've seen this company before. So you can see it's 2.88, and that's a 3-month view. 1-month view, yeah, it's not a great performer. 5-day, not a great performer. So what's the point of going through this list? If you got any questions, let me know before I take off for the night. Anybody got questions, comments? Lots of things I'd like to say, but I can't say them here. If you got any questions, it might be best to message me. I'll get back to you via, and that's if you're on TradingView again. So again, I could go through these. I don't think these will be great performers, but I did show you some that were really good compared to the forex market, compared to the good old. Let me just pull up Litecoin just as a comparison. You might be wondering. That's the better performer in the world of crypto. So how's Litecoin been doing? You can see right there, Litecoin doing really good, and then it goes flat again. So this is the problem of crypto. There's no solid trend. This has probably been pumped somehow artificially. But the thing is, it may collapse later on. That's typical in the world of crypto. And who does that? Mining companies is a cabal. Bitcoin, it happens. That's why you're getting the crazy pump, and then it just drifts. So no questions, I guess. So I guess we're done. So I'll leave it at that. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you got some value out of it, and we shall talk to you later. Have a good night.